Welcome back once again, all of my low carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Today I have another very easy keto bread recipe for you. Today I am going to show you how to make a keto version of banana bread. And yes, I know bananas are not keto. This is a banana-less banana bread. It gives you the same texture and taste as banana bread without the bananas. So no spike. Yay! And if you want a printable version of this recipe, you can check out my website at janet'sdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find a printable version of this recipe and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots of easy, delicious, low-carb keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button and click the notification bell that's right next to the subscribe button. That way you can be notified every time I put out new videos. And if you are a music lover, make sure you check out the link in the description to my other YouTube channel, Inspirational Songs with Janet. I've posted another new song there, so make sure you check that out and subscribe there also. And remember, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific time, I go live on TikTok at Janet's Delicious Kitchen, so make sure you check me out there. And if you would like to help support this channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. You'll see some affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything using those affiliate links, a small portion of your purchase will go to me and help support the channel. So, while we do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Lightly grease the bottom and the sides of a 7x3 inch loaf pan. If you don't have a 7x3 inch, you can use an 8x4 inch, but your loaf is going to be a little bit more flat if you do that. And you'll need to adjust the cooking time just a little bit if you use an 8x4 inch. Line the bottom of the loaf pan with some parchment paper and allow the paper to hang over the sides just a little bit so that you can easily remove the bread once it's done baking. Now make sure when you are greasing your loaf pan that you just lightly grease the sides. This is a moist bread, so you do need to grease the sides of your pan. Just don't overdo it because you don't want soggy bread. So just a light grease on the edges. In a medium mixing bowl, combine 56 grams or around a half cup of coconut flour, 14 grams or around 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 50 grams or around a 1/4 cup of the granulated sugar substitute of your choice or the brown sugar substitute of your choice. I'm using a mix of both. I'm using 25 grams or around 2 tablespoons of brown monk fruit sweetener and 25 grams or around 2 tablespoons of granulated monk fruit sweetener. You can adjust this more or less depending on how sweet you want your bread. Add 1 tablespoon of dry spices. I'm using 1½ teaspoons of ground cinnamon, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground nutmeg, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger, and a 1/2 teaspoon of allspice. You can change or adjust your spices according to your personal taste. Sift the dry ingredients all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the dry ingredients, and then set it aside for just a minute. In a large mixing bowl, mash 151 grams or around 1 large very ripe avocado. You don't want this overly ripe, but you want it to be very soft so that it will mash smoothly. Now, yes, I know this sounds like a really strange thing to put in bread, but the avocado is what is going to give you that texture that bananas would give in a traditional banana bread. And no, this bread does not taste like avocados when you're all done with it. By the time you get the flavorings and the extracts all in it, it does not taste like avocado. Mash it with a fork or an avocado masher until it is completely smooth. Emphasis on the completely smooth. You do not want any lumps of avocado in your bread, so smash it as best you can. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and push the smashed avocado to the center of the bowl. Add 3 large room temperature eggs, 82 grams or around a 1/3 cup of the room temperature Greek yogurt of your choice. You can use plain or flavored Greek yogurt. I'm using vanilla Greek yogurt. Add 1 tablespoon of banana extract and 1 teaspoon of vanilla or maple extract. You can change or adjust the extracts according to your personal taste, however dominant of a banana flavor or vanilla flavor that you want in your bread is up to you. Whisk the wet ingredients together until fully combined and completely smooth. Gradually stir the dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Make sure you just do this a little bit at a time. Add a little bit of the dry ingredients, mix it in until it's combined, then add a little bit more, and mix it in until it's fully combined and you have a smooth, thick batter that's formed. Once the batter's all mixed, if you need to, you can toss this into a food processor and just process it a few times to make sure that all of the avocado is completely smooth. You don't have to do that, but you really, really want to make sure that there are no chunks of avocado in your batter. If you want to, you can fold in some chopped nuts or some keto chocolate chips or any add-ins of your choice to give your bread a little bit more bulk to it. I like mine just as is, so I'm not adding anything to it. Scrape down the sides of your bowl and push the batter to the center of your bowl. Scoop the batter evenly into your prepared loaf pan. Use a spatula or a butter knife and spread the batter evenly and smoothly throughout the loaf pan. Make sure you get it as even as possible. Once the batter is spread, I like to use a butter knife and just kind of go around the edges of the batter and pull it away a little bit from the edges. This just gives the batter a little bit of breathing space so that you get a better, more even cook. Sometimes if coconut flour batter gets packed too tightly, you can end up having a moist center in your bread, and you don't want that. A little bit of moisture is fine, but you don't want a wet center. So pulling the batter away from the edges a little bit just gives it a chance to breathe and to cook a little bit more even. Place the loaf pan into your preheated oven. Bake at 350 degrees for 40 to 50 minutes or until the bread is golden and the tester comes out clean. Once the bread is done baking, remove it from your oven and allow it to cool in the pan for at least 1 hour or until it is firm. After an hour and the bread is firm, to remove the bread from the loaf pan, use a butter knife and just very gently drag the butter knife around the edges of the bread to loosen it a little bit from the edges of the pan. Then grasp the overhanging parchment paper and carefully lift the bread out of the loaf pan and transfer it to a wire rack. Then allow the bread to cool completely before slicing it. Once the bread is cooled, slice it into your desired size pieces. You can serve this warm or at room temperature. Now, I will give you a heads up, as most of you know, coconut flour baked goods do not rise, so this is going to be a very flat loaf. So if you do want a taller loaf, all you have to do is bake this in a shorter pan. They'll be shorter as far as lengthwise, but they'll be taller. If you do bake them in smaller loaf pan, then you might need to adjust the cook time just a little bit more because your bread will be a little bit thicker. If you do have any leftovers, store it in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days, or in an airtight container in your refrigerator for up to 1 week, or you can store it in an airtight container in your freezer for up to 1 month. If you do choose to freeze this, make sure you slice the bread into individual slices before freezing it, and then place some parchment paper in between each one of the slices so that when you freeze it, the individual slices don't stick together, and then whenever you want a slice of banana bread substitute, you can just take an individual slice out and let it defrost on your countertop for a couple minutes, and you can always have banana-less banana bread. Eat and enjoy. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more recipes like this, make sure you click that thumbs up like button, click that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.